This is Brian with ScreenFiles.com and Review. And what I'm looking at today is 2025's Cassandra, which is a Netflix limited series. It's also worth mentioning that Cassandra consists of 6 episodes. Each episode lasts no longer than 57 minutes. So it's a relatively brief watch. And in fact, that's part of the problem, because the series moves backward and forward in time. So it explores not only the life of the Prill family, but also the Schmidt family, of which Cassandra was the mother. The problem with this approach to storytelling is that it's not given any of them time to breathe, and it makes their actions seem very truncated and lacking in logic in some instances. For instance, Finn Prill is gay, and he goes to a new high school. Literally the first guy he meets, he falls for. And that's possible. But the thing is, on screen, it just looks very rushed. And I suspect it was rushed because, once again, the series does not give Finn time to really develop. He's in it quite a bit, but remember, time is being divided between his family and Cassandra's family. So therefore, he only gets so much time, and his character comes off underdeveloped. And it's a pity because the actor is really good, but it just kind of doesn't really make sense. The guy that Finn falls for kind of treats him like shit. And if the series had been given more space to breathe, I think his character would have perhaps responded better to it. By my reckoning, if let's say you had, instead of one 6-episode series, 2 6-episode series. So series 1, the bulk of the time would be spent with the Prill family and their interactions with Cassandra, the entity that ran their home. Series 2 would spend the brunt of its time with Cassandra's family, and probably in the last episode or 2 culminate both timelines in a satisfying way. Though the series doesn't do that, and as I said, it comes off rushed. It feels like they just didn't, for whatever reason, give the characters space to understand why they did what they did. And another good example of this is Finn's father, Samina's husband. He does something towards the end of the series which is insanely cowardly. And I have no issue with that in and of itself. But the point being, the series does not preface it with anything. It comes out of the blue and feels very out of character. And once again, if the story were given space to breathe, it might have still happened. Or at least the groundwork could have been laid for it happened, as opposed to it seeming really out of the blue. Cassandra revolving around a smart home and its attendant named Cassandra. And Cassandra has 2 forms. Well, technically 3, and I'll explain that in a moment. Cassandra tends to manifest herself as an image of a woman on screen, though she also has a robotic component which enables her to move around in real space. Now the thing is, the design of this robot is really good. And by good I mean mildly off-putting. It's not ugly or unattractive like, let's say, Annabelle from the Annabelle movies. It's not overdone, but there's just something the way it's built that is mildly disquieting and make it really effective when things start to go wrong, which happens relatively quickly. So the Prill family moves into this smart home, and initially they're very impressed by the technology on display. Though the thing is, Cassandra is more than an image on the screen or a robot, and she starts to become really possessive of the family. So much so that she begins to undermine the mother, her name is Samina, to undermine her authority and tries to sabotage her in various ways. Cassandra is not AI. So the series, when it delves into the woman Cassandra is based on, explains, well, simplifies it of course because the science is ridiculous, explains how this came to be. And so when we see Cassandra in the present day as a machine, it makes sense. Though no time is really spent on how Cassandra got to be the way she is. Though when the series is in the woman Cassandra's timeline, we come to learn that she takes being a devoted mother to the nth degree, and that she is a bit of a psychopath. I mean that literally. Her behavior goes beyond antisocial. She is nuts. That explains, to some extent anyway, why she acts as she does when she's part of this machine. She was already crazy, but once again, like I mentioned in reference to giving characters space to breathe, what she does very much comes out of left field. No groundwork is laid for her extremely brutal action. And so, while interesting, it just kind of knocks the balance off. As a series, it's way too rushed. And I'm not the type of person that tends to like overly long series. In fact, by my reckoning, 10 episodes, anything in a season is enough. You don't need more. Though as I said, Cassandra only lasted 6. If it weren't going to be 2 series of 6 episodes each, at the very least 10 episodes of a single season, for the reasons I already stated. Namely, it would just give characters a little more motivation and give the whole production just a little bit more room to breathe. Cassandra on Netflix is a pretty good series, and don't let it be, don't let the fact that it is a German miniseries turn you off. It's very well acted. The production values are really high, and there's an ominous to it. And there's an ominous to Cassandra that works really well. Though, if only it had more time to breathe. Though, what would have really sent it to the top is if it had just a little more time to breathe. So what do you think? This is Brian at ScreenFiles.com and Trailer to Reaction. Do you agree, disagree? Let me know down below. And as usual, consider a like, follow, or buy me a coffee.